Hello, fellow dreamers, and welcome to Sleep Stories. My name is Aurora. I'm so glad you found your way back to me tonight. Before we begin, I want you to know that you are safe here. Safe in this moment. Safe in this space we're about to share together. Whatever the day has been like for you, busy, scattered, maybe a little heavy, you can set it all down now. You don't have to carry anything into this story except your breath and a gentle willingness to rest. If you can, find a comfortable place to be still. Let your hands rest easily by your sides. Let your shoulders soften, as if they're melting just a little bit into the place you're lying. We'll take 3 slow breaths together, inhaling gently through your nose, holding for a moment, and letting it out with a soft sigh. Again, in through the nose. Hold for just a heartbeat, and release, feeling the air drift away like a small cloud. One more. A soft, deep breath in. Hold, and let it go completely. Your body knows how to relax. Before we begin, there's a tiny curse clinging to the like button. You can exorcise it with a single tap, and if you subscribe, you'll seal away the even bigger curse lurking behind it. The one that tries to keep you from our next story. I do upload new stories every week, just for you. Your mind will follow, step by step, as we journey together into tonight's gentle world. It's evening at Jujutsu High. The air carries that delicate hush that only happens when the sun is just beginning to slip away. Soft lavender light spills across the courtyard, touching the old wooden beams of the school with a tender glow. Cherry blossom trees stand quietly on either side of the path, their petals shifting in the lightest of breezes. And somewhere nearby, paper rustles gently. That sound draws you closer. You follow a winding path, each step slow and steady, until you see Yuji, crouched beside a low wooden crate, sorting through a stack of colorful paper lanterns. His smile is bright, but relaxed, and when he spots you, his eyes soften. "Hey, you made it," he says, his voice calm and warm, like he's been waiting for you all day. Nobara is standing on a small stool just a few feet away, reaching up to tie a lantern to a swaying branch. Her movements are precise and steady, and every now and then she pauses to admire the way the light catches the lantern's folds. Farther down the path, Panda is holding a bundle of lanterns in his arms, the strings trailing like ribbons. Every few moments, he shifts them gently so they don't tangle. He hums softly under his breath, a simple, steady tune that blends perfectly with the evening air. Yuji waves you over, and as you join them, the scent of fresh blossoms brushes against your senses. It's sweet, subtle, like spring whispering its arrival. Gojo is here too. Perched halfway up a ladder, leaned against one of the taller trees. He's pretending to wobble with exaggerated movements, just enough to make Yuji laugh. "Relax," Gojo says lightly, his voice full of easy amusement. "I've got perfect balance. You're safer here than anywhere else in the world." You notice the way the lantern in his hand glows faintly in the dim light, as if holding a little piece of the setting sun. Nobara steps down from her stool and hands you a lantern of your own. The paper feels smooth under your fingertips, and you can feel the faint texture of the folded seams. She points toward a branch nearby, low enough that you can easily reach it. You take your time. looping the string around the branch, pulling it gently until it's just snug enough to hold. The lantern sways slightly when you let go, catching the last threads of daylight. A soft breeze brushes against your cheek. It carries the faint sound of distant bells, perhaps from the temple beyond the hill. Their notes lingering in the stillness. Yuji crouches beside a small crate of teacups, handing you one filled with something warm. The steam drifts upward, and as you take a careful sip, the taste is floral and faintly sweet. "You've got perfect timing," Yuji says, gesturing toward the row of lanterns already strung. "When the sun goes down, this place is going to look like a dream." Gojo chuckles softly from his ladder. "It already does," he says, "especially with all of us here." You notice your breathing slowing, falling into rhythm with the quiet pace of the work around you. In dot, 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 and out. Like the gentle swaying of the lanterns overhead. Each time you inhale, you feel the cool freshness of evening air. And each time you exhale, a little more tension melts away from your body. Nobara hums quietly as she reaches for another lantern. Panda passes it to her with a calm nod, and the paper rustles softly between them. The courtyard glows faintly now, the light shifting as the sun dips lower and lower. Above, the first stars begin to peek through the fading sky. Gojo climbs down from the ladder, dusting his hands together in satisfaction. He takes a moment to admire the work you've all done. Lanterns swaying gently in the branches, each one ready to shine. As the last rays of light fade, you feel completely present here. No rush, no weight of the outside world. Just the simple, quiet rhythm of friends working side by side. Yuji catches your gaze and smiles again. Not the bright, energetic grin he wears in battle, but a softer one. The kind of smile that says you belong here. And for a while, you just stand together in the warm twilight, breathing in the scent of blossoms, listening to the paper rustle, watching the lanterns sway. The air has grown just a touch cooler now, that gentle, tender shift between evening and night. The lanterns above sway in the breeze, casting soft ripples of light across the ground. Yuji sets his teacup down and gestures for you to follow. "There's something you've got to see," he says quietly, as if sharing a small, wonderful secret. You step down a short stone path, the sound of your footsteps muted by moss-covered stones. The glow of the lanterns fades just enough that the first glimmers of moonlight find their way through the branches. Ahead, a long wooden table stretches beneath the trees. It's covered in simple white cloth, but what catches your eye are the neat stacks of parchment tags. Small, smooth rectangles, each one tied with a slender red ribbon. Beside them sit ink brushes resting in shallow dishes, the ink a deep, glossy black. It reflects the lantern light in tiny flickers, like a still pond touched by starlight. Megumi is here, leaning casually against the table with one hand in his pocket. When you approach, he straightens a little and gives you a small nod. Not overly warm, but not cold either. Just Megumi being Megumi. "This is the blessing table," he says quietly, his voice carrying a calm weight. "Before we send the lanterns into the night, we write something on these tags. A wish, a prayer, a hope for someone." You take a seat on the wooden bench beside him. The surface is smooth under your fingertips. worn down by years of quiet moments like this. Nobara joins you, setting her lantern down carefully on the table's edge, as if it's something fragile and treasured. "Make it good," she says with a half smile. But her tone is softer than usual. "This one will float with you all the way into morning." Panda slides into the space on your other side, placing a fresh tag and brush in front of you. The brush is light in your hand. Its bristles soft and waiting. Megumi dips his brush into the ink with slow, steady movements, then begins to write. His strokes are deliberate, each character flowing neatly into the next. You watch the ink soak into the paper deep and dark, as though the words themselves are absorbing the quiet magic of the night. For a moment, you simply breathe, letting the calm of the scene settle around you. The scent of the ink is faint but comforting, earthy, grounded. Above, the lanterns rustle softly, like a lullaby whispered between branches. When you're ready, you lower your brush to the tag in front of you. Your hand moves slowly, each line appearing like a soft ripple across still water. Perhaps you write something for yourself, a hope for gentler days ahead. Or maybe you write for someone else, a friend, a family member, or someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. Whatever it is, there's no rush. Here, time seems to stretch softly, giving you space to think and breathe. Yuji finishes his tag with a quiet "there," holding it up so the ink can catch the light. He blows on it gently, as though sealing the wish into place. Nobara ties her ribbon in a careful knot, then threads it onto the curved wire of her lantern. The red ribbon stands out against the pale paper, fluttering slightly in the breeze. When your own writing is done, you set the brush down, listening to the faint clink as it meets the ceramic dish. The ink on your tag gleams for a moment, before it begins to dry. Panda helps you tie it to your lantern, his large hands surprisingly gentle as he loops the ribbon into place. "There," he says softly. "Now, your wish is ready to fly." The group lingers a while longer, finishing their own tags in companionable silence. Gojo eventually strolls over, hands in his pockets, a faint smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Looks like we've got some beautiful wishes here," he says. "And I'm pretty sure one of them is for more sweets in the cafeteria." Yuji laughs quietly, and Nobara rolls her eyes, but even Megumi's lips twitch slightly at the corners. The moment feels unhurried, safe, as though you've stepped into a world where there's no need to hurry toward the next thing. The air is cool and fragrant, and the table glows under the soft lantern light. Your breath moves easily now, flowing in time with the night around you. One by one, the group begins to gather their lanterns, each one now carrying its own ribbon tag. A quiet message tied in place, ready for the journey ahead. Megumi picks up his lantern carefully, the glow lighting his features in a gentle gold. Nobara adjusts the knot on hers one last time, making sure it's perfect. Yuji hands you yours, and when your fingers close around the smooth handle, you feel its warmth. Not just from the light inside, but from the care you've poured into it. Gojo glances toward the darkening sky. "It's almost time," he says softly. "Let's take these to the field." You rise from the bench, lantern in hand, and follow your friends down the path. The wooden table behind you grows smaller, but the feeling it gave you, quiet, steady, filled with promise, lingers in your chest. The sound of the group's footsteps blends with the gentle rustle of the trees, and somewhere ahead, you can already see the soft open space where the lanterns will take flight. You take one more slow breath, and with it, you carry your wish forward, ready to release it into the night. The path opens into a quiet, grassy field, surrounded on all sides by trees that stand like gentle guardians. The moon hangs above, pale and steady, its light spilling over the open space like silver silk. In the center of the field, the air feels even more still, as if the world itself is pausing to witness what's about to happen. You and your friends gather in a loose circle, lanterns in hand. Each one glows softly, its paper warmed from the small light within. The red ribbons sway gently, whispering against the paper in the cool breeze. Gojo steps into the middle, his hands tucked loosely in his pockets. His voice is quiet, almost reverent. "Every lantern," he says, "is a little piece of our hope tonight. We send them out into the world, not knowing exactly where they'll land, but trusting that their light will find someone who needs it." Yuji looks down at his lantern, a small, thoughtful smile touching his lips. Nobara adjusts her grip, her eyes catching the flicker of her tag in the light. Even Megumi's expression has softened, his gaze fixed on the faint shimmer of the paper in his hands. Gojo lifts his head toward the sky. "All right," he says. "On three." The group falls silent. The only sounds the quiet rustle of the grass and the faint song of crickets in the distance. You take a slow breath in and hold it, feeling the weight of the moment settle in your chest. 1. Gojo's voice is steady. You notice the glow of your lantern deepening as the small flame inside dances. Its warmth spreads softly through your fingers, like holding on to the heart of a gentle star. 2. Your shoulders drop a little more, and the cool air brushes your cheek. Somewhere above, the first few clouds drift lazily across the moon. 3. At that single word, you open your hands. The lantern rises slowly at first, its movement almost hesitant. And then, with a graceful lift, it floats upward. Around you, dozens of lanterns begin their own gentle ascent. They drift into the night sky, their light glowing warmer and warmer against the dark. You watch yours sway slightly as it climbs, the ribbon trailing behind like a tiny comet tail. It joins the others, forming a drifting constellation that moves with the quiet rhythm of the wind. The group stands together in silence, every gaze turned upward. The lanterns grow smaller with each passing moment, their warm glow blending with the stars above. Yuji breathes out softly beside you. "It feels like the world's holding its breath," he murmurs. Nobara nods without looking away. "Or like the sky is keeping them safe for us." Megumi says nothing, but you notice the way his eyes follow each lantern until it disappears from sight. The field feels different now. Emptier in one way, but also fuller, filled with something unseen, something carried away with the lights. A breeze sweeps gently across the grass, cool but not cold. You let it wash over you, your breathing slow and even. Gojo finally breaks the stillness, his tone light again. "Well, I'd say that was a perfect launch. Yuji smiles. Nobara shakes her head with quiet amusement, and Panda chuckles softly. But no one rushes to leave. Instead, you all linger there, watching the very last flickers of light vanish into the horizon. The night settles deeper now, the moon shining brighter in the absence of the lanterns. A few petals drift from the cherry blossoms at the edge of the field, their pale shapes catching the silver light before landing in the grass. You take a final breath here, deep and unhurried, letting the stillness of the moment fill every corner of your mind. Whatever wish you tied to your lantern, wherever it's floating now, you know it carries a part of this night with it, a part of you. As the group begins to make their way back toward the courtyard, Yuji slows his steps to walk beside you. Same time next year? He asks softly, his smile both hopeful and certain. You nod. And with that, the two of you follow the gentle glow of the remaining lanterns in the trees, their light leading you home. And here, my friend, we'll let the story fade. Your breathing is steady now. Your body is at ease. And the soft image of lanterns drifting into a quiet night is yours to carry into your dreams.